Hi everyone, we have got another viewers clip today, and while we're on that subject I'd like to say a massive thanks to everyone who has sent us clips in. We get clips now from all around the world, including one that we've got coming up over the next couple of weeks from Los Angeles. So many thanks to everyone. Please keep sending them to the same places. It honestly fuels this series and allows everyone to have a little bit wider experience. So many thanks. But today we've got a learner car. Us learners apparently are a big danger. Let's have a look at this one. So what's your initial thought on that? The dash cam car was obviously the learner, and we were greeted by that lorry in lane 2, so the collision happened at the roundabout. Let's have a look to see first of all what the lorry could have done a little bit differently.
So here we are on a primary route on the approach to a flat-sided roundabout. The weather, although poor, doesn't affect this incident. The lorry takes up a good early position where I'm assuming they're going to turn right at one of the other junctions. Everything looks well from here. The lorry's taken a position nicely in the middle of the lane. But it's about now where things start to go wrong. It looks as though to me the lorry driver actually makes a mistake that my learners often do. They stare to the right and actually guess where they're steering to the left. Have a look now where the lorry's ended up. He's encroaching into lane 1. Lorries obviously need more space, but surely it's down to the lorry drivers to see when people aren't giving them enough room. Did the lorry driver even see the learner vehicle to the left? Or did he see the vehicle and thought just because he's bigger he was going to carry on anyway? What do you think? Watching his brake lights on the back of the cab come on tells me he did see, but just too late.
Now let's have a little look at it from the driving school car's perspective. But before I do, I'd like to read out a little bit of the email that was actually sent in along with this clip. So this is from the driving instructor. And he says, I've certainly reflected on it, obviously the incident, and found things I could have done much better. At about 10 seconds, I could have picked up on the warning signs that the HGV wasn't central in his lane. Okay. Ultimately, I could have held back behind the lorry, but he mistakenly thought that as they were going left at the first exit, it wouldn't cause any conflict. Okay, no problems. At the time of the crunch, we were coming to a stop as we didn't have a clear view of the roundabout, but my attention was scoping out the exit road for hazards. Okay, no problems. And as I knew we were coming to a complete stop, perhaps I should have left that advanced look for later. No problems. Let's have a little look at it and see maybe if there's anything else that I've picked up on.
One thing I would like to add before we start is that this pupil driving is profoundly deaf. The pupil was a little bit late taking up the correct position to turn left at the roundabout, but it didn't affect the incident whatsoever. And again, at this sort of point, everything's looking okay. But this is actually the first part where the instructor and the pupil could have done something different. If they didn't brake as much, they could have rolled the car up and now been in the space behind the orange lorry and in front of the spar lorry. And as you can see, if they were in this space, they would have been much more visible and they would have had a much better view of the roundabout. But to get that information across to a pupil who is profoundly deaf as you're approaching is impossible. The only mistake that really happened on the instructor's part, which he's already admitted to, he should have braked more and stopped, and this should happen before you get to the turn point, which is about here. And also notice how much in the blind spot of the lorry the learner vehicle is at this point. I'm also holding the clip here to point out that honestly there shouldn't really be a problem with the pupil and the instructor making this turn from this position, because as you can see the orange lorry left enough room, so why couldn't the spar lorry? That aside, the best bit of advice I can give you though, if you can't be in front of the lorry, make sure you're behind it. Here's an example of me teaching at another roundabout with a lorry around us.
Okay, so remember the cars in this middle lane could come round, but they could zip in there. If they go in there, that sometimes leaves you an opportunity to move. Doesn't look as though many of them go in there, so creep forward.
Watch how now I raise the tempo and the level of my instruction to match the risk, or in other words, to stop us being next to the lorry.
Is that one stopping? Can we go? Can we go after the white one? Good. Off we go and in. Good. I want you in front of the lorry, not next to it. Look far. In front of the lorry. Good. Better, Zach. Better. Nice job. And look where the lorry went. Can we clear? Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Now we can. Do you understand?
So, going on a driving lesson, does that mean you are at an increased risk of having an accident? Well, actually not, no. I'm going to put a link in the description and it will show people out there just what low risk driving instructors are. If you follow this link, it allows you to put in your profession and it shows you different options if you did have a different job title. And just have a little look at the cheapest one generally is driving instructor. It's even cheaper than driving examiner. So that tells the whole story of exactly what risks there are on driving lessons, but it does happen occasionally. None of us are perfect, and honestly it's so pleasing but not really surprising to see a driving instructor look at himself rather than point the finger at others. He didn't once blame the lorry driver. So honestly, if everyone took that lovely view on the roads would be such a better place. So well done to him, and thanks for everyone for watching and paying attention. It's always a pleasure. Hope to see you soon.